Hey, this is the World Advice Channel. What I want to talk about today is an invention that has been around for some time, that continues to get attention all the time, and I believe it's an abomination, aside from a few other things such as TikTok, you know, um, Chat GPT, things like that. This thing is an absolute abomination, and it's what I refer to as deepfakes. Deepfakes, which is a system where you could literally actually take the face of someone in a lot of cases, and if not all cases, their face without their permission, and make it look like they said or did something they did not do. So for this video, I'm going to discuss why I believe it's a bad idea. So let's get started with the first real point of why it's an extremely bad idea, for this idea. So to get started, what I have to say about deepfakes, the problem with it, aside from, of course, it being used as a method for bullying people and this and that, the truth of the matter is that the biggest problem with deepfakes is the real world repercussions it can have when it comes to the world we are living in, such as the fact that there is things such as unstable governments, war, all that type of stuff, and you could literally make a deep fake where it makes it look like somebody said something that can make it look like, oh shit, we may have a World War III. The president of this country, like let's just say, for example, the president of China, or the president of Iran said, we are going to declare war on this particular nation that could either be an ally of the United States or even are responsible for an attack against American soldiers, or even an invasion against America or something like that, which would obviously clearly start World War III, and those regimes are not very well trusted anyway. So if they were to rebuttal, not very rebuttal, speak the truth and say, no, we didn't say that. If it's a very convincing deep fake, it might be too late. It just takes one death in terms of a conflict between someone from the opposite side to fully officially start a war. So that's a problem with it. And to go further deeper into deep fakes, to deeper in that problem, more like, if anything, is that the internet's so big, it has so many people on it, that the truth of the matter is that there's so many deep fakes being put out there, it creates a situation. Now, I don't know exactly what they call it, but I think in the scientific world, they have a term for it, where what it pretty much means is that, like, if enough of something happens, if you have enough probabilities of something like put out there and stuff, it's only a matter of time before something might actually happen. It's just like, for example, if you predict, like, okay, the world is going to come to an end, and you predict so many different ways the world is going to come to an end, whether it could be asteroids, whether it could be a solar storm or this or that, you're probably at some point going to figure out one that actually is correct. It's kind of the same thing here, but instead of it just being like a 5-10 different predictions or something, or maybe even a few dozens, there could be anywhere from hundreds of thousands of people who post these type of videos. So if you have that many people posting that many types of videos out there, it makes it more likely that with the sheer quantity of it, there's going to be, especially if it's at the right place at the right time, there might be one that somebody happens to see and takes very seriously and thinks this is the real freaking thing. Not to mention a second thing to go along with that, to make it even worse, is that, as common sense would dictate, as time goes on, technology always improves. Things that might be a good quality deep fake now in 2023, in 2028 will look backward and primitive, if anything. Look at how much things have improved for literally everything else we have in the world, like like cars, you know, airplanes. Like it's not even been that long ago. Humans were barely able to launch a plane into the sky. In only a few decades, people were able to put people in outer space. Like you see my point here. Like technology advances really quickly. So with how, obviously, using common sense, it's only a matter of time. If this technology continues to exist, people are going to make some ones that are extremely convincing, extremely believable, and that can literally cause a world war or a massive situation that would cause a lot of problems. So the truth of the matter is, it's not even a question of if, it's only a question of when. Because the truth of the matter is, we live in a dysfunctional planet. It's very troubled. There's a lot of nations. There's a lot of corruption. The world, to answer your question, for the rest of the century is going to continue to have a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So to make things even worse, of course, as usual fashion with the people who run this world, they have to invent this thing known as deepfakes, which just makes it more likely, which makes it inevitable at some point someone will make a deep fake that's very convincing to people. That's the truth of the matter. Because technology is always improving. So the ability to do it effectively and stuff will become, of course, inevitably better. So this is why I believe it should be banned. I think it's a terrible idea, and I just don't think it's a good idea at all. Besides, what gives a human being the damn right to take an image of someone's face without their permission and make it look like they're doing something they're not doing? What gives people the damn right to do that? Not to mention, lastly, with the other effect this could obviously cause is simply the fact that we can't really take our politicians seriously anymore. Now I know a lot of people don't really like politicians, and in general they don't have the greatest track record for actually really doing anything, for that matter. But the truth of the matter is that we still need them for certain things. Like if there's an emergency for like a natural disaster or something, we need them. If there's a terrorist attack or something, we need them. If there's a major announcement about a policy decision, we need them. Okay? If people create deepfakes all the time, then it makes it more likely what is believable, even for simple menial things. It gets really ridiculous and it gets silly. So the truth of the matter is, I do not believe at all in this deepfake thing. I think it should be banned. And just like nuclear weapons, there's a time, and even now, I'm certain you could probably create many more nuclear weapons than we have today. And there was a time nuclear weapons development was so efficient they could literally create one that could probably be used as a toy by your kid in its house. Literally, I'm not even making this up. They actually at one point had games where they had radioactive material with it. They even had a time for the Vietnam War they were considering using nuclear weapons as a way to, as like some sort of RPG or bazooka or something like that, but did we do it? No. So this is what I'm trying to say here, is that just because you can do something, you have the ability to do it, doesn't mean you do it. I think this is a terrible idea. I think it should be banned. And this is my video about this issue. And even though it might not seem related to politics, it definitely is, because it can have some really serious real world implications. So this is, once again, I'll just say this is my video. If you like videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed this. And this is all I have to say, and simply put it, later.